Alors, il y a une personne dans cette salle que l'on va retrouver dans un instant, dont le nom a déjà été cité à plusieurs reprises et à qui on souhaitait rendre un hommage appuyé et dire un grand merci. Pour ce faire, je vais rappeler à mes côtés le docteur Samir Rachidi. Et je crois que vous avez un mot supplémentaire, plein d'émotions à nous adresser. C'est Rachidi.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm sorry to make this twist to the protocol a bit. But my colleagues and I would like to invite you to pay a tribute and a warm homage to a great man who has been for us and for many others outside Iran, a real inspiration. Through his outstanding dedication, hard work, strong commitment, and high values, he succeeded in making a real difference in the Moroccan clean tech innovation ecosystem, based on contextualized innovation funding schemes, as well as a unique concept of technology upscaling facilities, what we call the platforms. For him, a perfect researcher is at once a researcher, a teacher, professor, and an entrepreneur. Therefore, after 11 years at IRISN, bringing it from 2 people to 80 employees, with hundreds of young researchers trained, he chose again to show us the way by engaging in an entrepreneurship endeavor in clean technologies. Mr. Iken, dear Sivada, thank you very much for everything. Thank you for who you are. You have left the walls, but you will stay always in our hearts and forever remembered. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Please a standing ovation to Mr.
Please
Iken.
welcome Mr. Badr Iken, ladies and gentlemen. A real standing ovation for him, please, to thank him for all he did in green tech. Sir Badr Iken, ladies and gentlemen. Badr Iken, bienvenue et pour vous avoir côtoyé dans les médias et vu tout ce que vous avez fait jusqu'à aujourd'hui, il y a encore beaucoup à faire et vous y contribuerez. Je suis ravi de vous recevoir. Vous allez être le modérateur de la session qui va suivre, du panel qui va démarrer. On va envisager avec vous les opportunités en termes d'économie, je l'évoquais, en termes d'investissement également, et voir de quelle manière est-ce que cet hydrogène vert peut contribuer à rapprocher 2 univers, 2 espaces que sont le continent européen et le continent africain. Je vous laisse la scène. Vous avez un micro ici que vous pouvez utiliser ou à côté et la scène est à vous. The floor is yours.
Merci beaucoup, c'est Wadi Adada, Excellencies, Presidents, Madam President, Honorable Assistants. First of all, I would like, of course, then to thank my colleague, Dr. Samir Rachidi, and all the team of IRISN. It's an amazing feeling to have such kind of homage, and then to know that you are still living, and I will still do a lot of work. It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much for giving me this privilege and opportunity to moderate this first session. Normally, I had to work in the past, my past experience, I had then to work into the night, and now it's a real privilege to be able then to come, and my colleague Samir Rachidi had to work late at night. This is maybe then one advantage to have a successor. Thank you again for your participation. We will start with the first presentation. Unfortunately, Her Excellency Dr. Leila Ben Ali was not able then to attend physically, and we will give her the virtual floor. Leila Ben Ali was appointed last year as a minister for energy and I would say for energy transition. She was working before in different institutions in the energy sector, And then we will have the opportunity to see one video before moving to other participants. If you allow me, dear Mr. Wadi Adada, I would like we might then call the other participants of the opening who are attending. I will start with the president, Mr. Shakib Lalij. Please, if you might then join us. I also would like then to call Madam President, Madam Barka Bouaida. Please, if you might then join the floor. It's an honor to have you with us. We have also from the CEO of DII, Mr. Cornelius Mates. Please join the floor. And we have also the honor to have the Secretary General of the Arab Fertilizer Association. Please, dear Dr. Raib Soub. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, now I think we have all the participants of this first opening high-level session with us, and we will start with the first video from Her Excellency Leila Ben Ali. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Marrakesh, and welcome to the World Power to X Summit, a very important summit which is organized jointly by the Research Institute for Solar Energy and New Energies, l'IRESEN, the Polytechnic University Mohammed VI, and the Moroccan Green Hydrogen Cluster. I really wish to be with you, but the multiple investment opportunities offered by our country mean that my agenda is often victim of these multiple requests and of this success. It's a nice problem to have. I wanted through this message, though, to warmly welcome all the delegations and thank all the participants. I would like to congratulate the organizers for the excellent choice of topic. Our new development model advocated indeed to accelerate the provision of competitive low carbon energy for the society, for services, and for industries. And we really want to elevate our energy security to a strategic and sovereign level. Ladies and gentlemen, Morocco ticks a very important box. Our ambitious strategy is driven at the highest level of the state through the vision of His Majesty the King Mohammed VI, may God assist him. Indeed, we've been able to rise over the last 10 years as a leading country in the field of energy transition. Also, our NDC, one of the first ones aligned with the 1.5-degree scenario, calls for improving our competitiveness and our energy mix. On the other hand, as you know, Morocco is already connected to the European electricity grid through the interconnection with Spain, and we already have other projects that are planned to strengthen this connectivity via new lines. Providing our country with a low carbon, decentralized, renewable, and accessible energy is definitely our driver. But in 2022, we are still living the COVID crisis consequences. We are still experiencing how fragile and interdependent energy markets are. For governments, for citizens, the short term and the long term are intertwined. Governments have to keep 30 years net zero targets alive while supporting their populations to finish the month. So a resilient energy strategy with improved return on capital is definitely critical. In this regard, when we think of hydrogen, to massively develop a hydrogen economy, a reduction in electrolysis facilities costs are needed. We need clear impulse for R&D, for the industrialization of derivatives products, and we need capacity building, accelerated capacity building in this field. That's why I personally believe that congregating the community around a competitive $2 hydrogen would bring in the financial sector, the policymakers, and so on. Of course, hydrogen in Morocco, with one of the lowest kilowatt hour in the world, constitutes a clear competitive advantage. But to really induce that innovation bubble, that commercialization bubble, we in Morocco are pushing various new sectors in parallel in the various regions of the kingdom. Water desalination, marine energy, energy recovery from biomass, green molecules exports, industrial decarbonization program. And this one, by the way, aims to provide all industrial areas with clear, clean, and competitive electrical energy. The preliminary need that was estimated at more than 800 gigawatt hours per year, I personally think it's underestimated. The first project of this program, 40 megawatts, is already authorized to supply Kenitra, the Kenitra industrial zone, with renewable energy. And we have other projects that are being appraised to supply other industrial zones in Tangiers and Casablanca and so on. Morocco, as you know, has several assets to become a key player in the Power-to-X field, in addition to our undeniable competitive advantage in terms of geography, in terms of renewable potential. We have a constantly evolving regulatory and legislative framework. For me, that's the first key competitive advantage. It's a key driver for cost reduction of the renewable kilowatt hour. Morocco can also rely on its energy interconnections that I mentioned, including gas, and its ports and logistical infrastructure that are well connected to the Atlantic basin, to the Mediterranean, to Europe, to set up the logistics necessary for exports. While we are building our gas system and connecting two continents, we also want to leapfrog to a modern system for the upcoming hydrogen and ammonia flows. We are aiming at setting in Morocco a large production and marketing capacity for Power-to-X products, and therefore we are working on integrating even further the hydrogen roadmap to 2050 to ensure optimal monetization of our entire natural capital. And by natural capital, I don't only mean land, I'm also meaning offshore natural capital, both for the national economy needs and for exports. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we believe in stable, consistent, integrated, and evolving approaches. For those who have not joined Morocco's Green Deal yet, we are multiplying the opportunities for you to join. So I wish you fruitful discussions and partnerships, and I wish that you embark with us in our Green Deal. Thank you very much.
This was the opening video of Her Excellency Leila Ben Ali, Minister of Energy Transition and Sustainable Development. And now we will move to the private sector. I'm very glad. I'm sorry, I'm checking. Normally we will have, Mr. Shakib Lalij, President of the General Confederation of Moroccan Enterprises. Monsieur le Président, le mot est à vous. Je ne sais pas si vous souhaitez rester là ou aller au pupitre. Je vous en prie, Monsieur le Président.
Ça fait plaisir de voir une belle salle bien remplie. I will make my speech in French if you don't mind, but I think there is a translation. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers amis, c'est un réel plaisir pour moi de prendre part à cet événement d'envergure traitant d'un sujet d'actualité et d'avenir à fort enjeu national et international. Heureux également de voir autant de participants, éminentes personnalités, acteurs publics, chefs d'entreprise, partenaires internationaux, réunis autour des défis à relever pour réussir la mise en place d'un marché Power-to-X national, continental et intercontinental, fondé sur les énergies propres, l'hydrogène vert en particulier. Mesdames et messieurs, sous le leadership éclairé de Sa Majesté le roi Mohamed VI, que Dieu l'assiste, le Maroc s'est engagé très tôt dans la voie du développement durable et a entrepris de nombreux chantiers structurants pour opérer sa transition énergétique et écologique. L'objectif atteindre 52% d'énergie renouvelable dans le mix énergétique national d'ici 2030. Les efforts fournis par le Royaume dans ce sens sont d'ailleurs salués à l'échelle mondiale et le place en tant que leader africain en la matière. Par ailleurs, la décarbonation de l'industrie est aujourd'hui une priorité pour les opérateurs économiques en raison de l'entrée en vigueur du mécanisme d'ajustement carbone aux frontières européennes, mais également au vu de fortes augmentations que connaissent récemment les prix des énergies fossiles. Pour réussir cette décarbonation, nous sommes conscients que le recours aux énergies renouvelables est certes nécessaire, mais n'est pas suffisant. Ainsi, les technologies liées au Power to X, parmi lesquelles l'hydrogène vert, se présentent aujourd'hui comme des alternatives fiables permettant de réduire l'usage du gaz et de la combustion et de résoudre le problème de stockage des énergies renouvelables. Comme le souligne le rapport sur le nouveau modèle de développement du Maroc, le potentiel du pays en énergie renouvelable solaire et éolienne, sa proximité géographique du continent européen, ainsi que son ancrage fort au sein de l'Afrique, sont autant d'atouts permettant au Royaume de devenir un acteur majeur et incontournable dans la production de molécules vertes. La demande croissante pour ces nouveaux composants sans émissions de carbone en font une véritable industrie du futur. Ainsi, selon l'avis du CESE, sur la transition énergétique, le Maroc est placé par le World Energy Council Germany comme l'un des 5 pays à fort potentiel pour la production et l'exportation des molécules vertes, ammoniac, méthanol, etc. Il pourrait capter jusqu'à 4% du marché mondial de l'hydrogène, soit près de 3 milliards de dollars. Cette filière offrira aussi à notre pays, à l'horizon 2030 et au-delà, un potentiel formidable de création de valeur et d'emplois. Mesdames et messieurs, l'hydrogène vert en tant que source d'énergie propre et renouvelable permettrait à la fois à l'Union européenne et à l'Union africaine d'atteindre des objectifs spécifiés respectivement dans le Green Deal européen et l'agenda 2063. Cette nouvelle ressource se présente de ce point de vue comme vitale pour l'Afrique afin qu'elle puisse offrir à sa population des services énergétiques performants et fiables, en faveur d'un développement économique soutenu, d'une intégration régionale fortement ancrée et de l'industrialisation des pays du continent. L'hydrogène vert pourrait aussi devenir un important produit d'exportation de l'Afrique vers l'Europe afin de substituer les énergies fossiles et achever la transition énergétique. Nous proposons et nous pouvons et devons transformer ces ambitions en réalité. La CEGM a proposé dans son livre blanc plusieurs mesures à déployer pour accélérer la production d'énergie décarbonée, notamment la libération du potentiel de la production décentralisée à base d'énergie renouvelable, l'ouverture de l'accès de la nouvelle tension à l'offre en énergie renouvelable, ainsi que le renforcement du positionnement du Maroc comme leader régional de la production des molécules vertes. Au vu de l'importance accordée à ces nouvelles filières, la CEGM a décidé aux côtés de ses partenaires de créer un cluster dédié à ce sujet, le cluster Green H2. Mesdames et messieurs, en tant que représentants du secteur privé, nous voyons l'hydrogène vert comme une réelle opportunité à saisir pour accélérer le développement économique de notre pays et de notre continent. Il nous revient d'anticiper et de mettre en place des mécanismes adéquats et innovants pour que notre pays profite pleinement de cette fenêtre de tir qu'est le Power to X. Enfin, je réitère mes félicitations aux organisateurs de cet événement, l'IRSEL, l'Université Polytechnique Mohamed VI et le cluster Green H2. Je demeure confiant que le partenariat fructueux et que des partenariats importants vont se faire aujourd'hui. Merci et bonne continuation.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Je souhaite rappeler que Monsieur Chakib Lalej dirige un groupe industriel avec plusieurs milliers d'employés et des activités dans plusieurs secteurs industriels, dans des secteurs également aussi dans le secteur des énergies renouvelables, et il est très, très engagé et il a toujours été pendant plus de 20 ans engagé au niveau de fédérations professionnelles et aujourd'hui, il est à la tête du patronat marocain. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Et là, sans transition, I will switch to English. As I said before, I am very proud to introduce Madam President Mbarka Bouaida. She is the first female president of a region in the history of Morocco. She was former minister. She delegated to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation between 2013 and October 2016. She was also, she played important roles in the Moroccan Parliament. She was also former chair of the Committee of Foreign Affairs and the National Defense and the Religious Affairs in the Moroccan House of Representatives. She was also in charge of relationships between Morocco and the European Parliament. And at the international level, Mrs. Bouaida is Vice President of the International Parliamentarian Forum for Democracy and a member of the North-South Center of the Council of Europe. There are a lot to say. It's a real pleasure to have you. The floor is yours, Mrs. Mbarka Bouaida.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, first of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me on my quality as president of region and also as a representative of all the regions of Morocco. That means a lot for us actually as regions. I think it's the first time that we have regions present in this kind of meetings and summit. That means also that the multi-level cooperation is working now in Morocco between the center, the regions, local territories, and also investors and all the stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, it is particularly pleasant for me to address you today in my capacity as president of the Regional Council of Guelmi Mouadnoun on the occasion of the opening of the second edition of World Power to X Summit in Marrakesh. Based, as the minister said before, based on its energy transition policy and its successful investments in the field of renewable energies, Morocco aims to be an exporter of green energy through green hydrogen, which is at the heart of the summit. It goes without saying that this meeting is an excellent opportunity to stress that the future carries the energy of the present as the past is its base. For centuries, the convergence and interaction of civilizations and cultures have been one of the bases of Morocco's unique model. Under His Majesty orientations, Kingdom of Morocco is preparing to become a green energy bridge via electricity and green hydrogen between Europe and Africa, the future of which depends on the development of this type of energy. Aware of its energy vulnerability, Morocco has embarked on the energy challenge by increasing the share of renewable energies in its energy mix with an ambitious objective of raising the rate of renewable energies in the installed capacities of 52% by 2030. Since its launch in 2009, the strategy adopted under the high guidelines of His Majesty was not only driven by the slogan, act locally and think globally, but also by a territorial approach to this energy policy. Clearly, it is at the territorial level that the development of green hydrogen should articulate its full potential for creating values and jobs. Within the Guelmi Mouadnoun region, which is part of what we call now Morocco of the regions, as mentioned in the report of the Special Commission on the Development Model, which that works on the new Moroccan development by 2035, our territory has already distinguished itself in line with the royal guidelines on this niche of renewable energies in general and green hydrogen in particular thanks to the proven potential of the region of Gelmi Mouadnoun in terms of solar radiation, wind speed, and geographical position. As a result, my region, and allow me to talk about my region, is endowed with several geographical sites hosting large quantities of renewable resources, and which have the advantage of combining solar and wind power. In the long term, our ambition is to put the Gelmi Mouadnoun region at the top in Morocco and make it one of the international leaders in the production and export of green hydrogen. Ladies and gentlemen, the idea of a regional economy based on green hydrogen is already implemented in our territory and in our regional development plans. Responding to a dual objective, the development of green hydrogen within our region rhymes perfectly with environmental issues, in particular the resilience of our territory in the face of climate change and the preservation of our natural resources, mainly water. It is in this perspective that the region of Gelmi Mouadnoun has promoted the emergence of a green hydrogen dedicated ecosystem that we consider as a lever for local economic development, and we hope it will be a key to shift toward carbon neutrality and ensure the energy transition locally. In this sense, several public and private investors in renewable energies have already trusted the Gelmi Mouadnoun region, which possesses all the necessary ingredients to conceive this green hydrogen ecosystem, bringing all the stakeholders together. As one of the least dense territories, Moroccan Sahara, and the region of Gelmi Mouadnoun represents 6.5% of the total area of the kingdom, and it is considered, for those who don't know it, as the gate to the Moroccan Sahara. It is the gate actually for the Sahara, not only for the Moroccan Sahara, but even for the sub-Saharan countries through its history. Gelmi Mouadnoun region, ladies and gentlemen, contributes to 1.5% of the national GDP for 1.2% of the population. It explains the lowest density. Today, the growth rate of our economy indicator puts our region among the most dynamic territories at the national level, thanks to the public investment. This trajectory clearly shows the significant potential of the region, as well as its multiple economic development opportunities. In addition to that, the strategic position of our region with an Atlantic coast spreading over 240 kilometers, and also being the only territory that is connected to two African countries in the borders, Mauritania and Algeria, makes it much more interesting and attractive, hopefully, for investors. This geographical location also provides us with easy access and proximity to Europe, especially thanks to the implementation of road, air, and port infrastructures, namely the Tiznit Dakhla expressway or motorway, the airports, the two ports, and hopefully a new project, hopefully of new ports that can be dedicated to renewable energies. To upgrade this position's liveliness, a city of professions and competencies will see light in the region in the near future. The region has signed many agreements with the Ministry of Education to have a real platform of education and in the region dedicated to new jobs and new horizons. And of course, we are trying as much as we can to include research and development and the renewable energy expertise in this city. The latter is willing to be trained in new professions related to green hydrogen to support the development of this sector, the objective of which is to achieve industrial integration with initial and continuous training in conjunction with the mandatory engineering. To draw optimum advantage from our position and fully exploit the potential of our territory, we have also mobilized land offer in the form of several zones, in addition to the adoption of policies, regional policies oriented towards encouraging and facilitating investment while waiting for the national and territorial chart of investment. This is why the region of Gelmi Mouadnoun, ladies and gentlemen, which used to be a meeting point between the north and the south, thanks to the caravan trade, aims to preserve this vocation as a welcoming land, especially of investments in renewable energies and in general, and particular in green hydrogen. Before concluding, allow me once again to congratulate all the participants and organizers for the success of this event, and also to seize this opportunity and invite you all to organize the next edition of of this summit in Gelmim. And please consider it as an official invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. One question, when do you expect to have the start of the first hydrogen project in the region of Gelmim, Wednoun?
According to our partners, probably by 2025.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we will move to Germany. Mrs. Svenja Schulze is the current Federal Minister for Economic Cooperation and Development of Germany. Before, she was Federal Minister for the Environment and Nuclear Safety. She was also Minister for Innovation, Science and Research of the federal state of North Rhine-Westphalia, and also then member of the parliament. We will have now one message, and we will move to the virtual floor.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to Marrakesh. Green hydrogen and power-to-X technologies are key to our common future. They are key to fulfilling the promise of the Paris Agreement and limiting global warming. Its impacts are already affecting many regions in the world through heat waves, droughts, and extreme weather events. But green hydrogen not only offers a promising path to address climate change, it also allows us to decarbonize our economies while boosting economic growth. The global green hydrogen market has enormous growth potential. Many countries with ideal conditions for its production can position themselves now for this future market. This is not only relevant for a green recovery from the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Green hydrogen and renewable energies can also be an important building block to reduce the problematic dependency on imports of fossil fuels and their derivatives. The German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development is supporting its partner countries in harnessing this strategic potential with emphasis on three important criteria. Firstly, the development of green hydrogen sectors should contribute to a just transition. It should thus foster local value chains. Secondly, it should support and not undermine local energy supply and a local energy transition. And thirdly, it should not place an additional burden on natural resources that are already under pressure. If these requirements are met, innovative power-to-X technologies can truly contribute to win-win partnerships and global cooperation. We are very proud that with the German-Moroccan Hydrogen Alliance, we have been able to lay the foundations for this kind of partnership. Together with Morocco, a visionary partner on climate policy and successful pioneer on renewable energies, we are joining forces to contribute to the development of the global green hydrogen market. Germany has therefore already committed almost 90 million euros to showcase, together with Morocco, how a suitable environment and technical foundations for a green hydrogen sector can be created. The construction of the first large-scale production unit in Africa will be an important milestone to realize our common vision, and we expect to see green hydrogen made in Morocco in about 3 years' time. I encourage other countries to follow the example of Morocco's courageous, visionary policies and hope that further international partnerships will soon emerge. This effort offers great potential for both sides, Africa and the European Union. Only if we join forces can we rise to the challenge of limiting climate change while opening up new paths for sustainable development. I wish you all fruitful discussions and a successful conference so that we can further deepen our international exchange and cooperation on these important topics.
This was Her Excellency Svenja Schulze from Germany. Now we will move to Belgium. We have also a statement from Mrs. Tine van der Straten. She's a Minister for Energy of Belgium. She served in the Belgian Federal Parliament during 2007 till 2020. Before she became a minister, she's a co-founder of the Brussels-based law firm Blixt, specialized in energy law. Please, the virtual floor is yours.
Dear distinguished guests, and dear ladies and gentlemen, numerous national and regional policy targets are coming together in the global momentum towards net zero emissions by 2050. One of the many fields where our countries are coming together is the field of energy. To tackle climate change, renewable hydrogen is a significant part of the solutions puzzle. Its future is promising. We can produce renewable hydrogen thanks to renewable electricity. And on a global scale, the production of energy from wind and solar is ever increasing, whereas its costs are decreasing year after year. Also, advances in technology are making electrolysis less expensive than before. The interest in international trade of renewable hydrogen is rising rapidly, and global supply chains to ship this hydrogen are taking shape. Renewable hydrogen is now a real contender to transform the energy markets. And Belgium, my country, is determined to play a pioneering role in the breakthrough of technologies for large-scale production of renewable hydrogen. It is an objective that is well reflected in our federal Belgian hydrogen vision and strategy that was presented at the end of 2021. And this strategy is built on 4 pillars. The first one is positioning Belgium as an import and transit hub in Europe. Belgium has a central position in Europe, has important ports in the North Sea, and the firm intention to invest in import and transport infrastructure of molecules on its territory. Belgium is well connected with neighboring countries and can play an importing and transiting role for renewable hydrogen to Western Europe. The second pillar of the strategy is becoming a leader in hydrogen technologies. To strengthen the leading position in hydrogen technologies, the federal government allocated different funds to support various projects to scale up promising technologies. Also, we created a hydrogen expertise center where universities, research centers, and companies can test, develop, and scale up hydrogen-related technologies. The third pillar is establishing a robust hydrogen market. The federal government is developing a hydrogen transport infrastructure by open access pipeline. It will connect the ports with the industrial zones and with our neighboring countries, in particular with Germany, before the end of 2028. And finally, the fourth pillar, cooperation. Cooperation is a key success factor. Effective collaboration at all levels will have to be implemented to ensure the success of this strategy. In the end, we will only succeed if all partners work together. Cooperation is necessary at every level. Ladies and gentlemen, my message to you is that in the field of hydrogen, you will find in Belgium a very committed partner. Let's work together and even increase our commitments so that we have the hydrogen capacity when we need it and where we need it. The energy transition towards a renewable, carbon-neutral society is perhaps the biggest opportunity that will ever come our way. We can achieve it when we join forces all together. And the World Power to X Summit sets a good example by bringing you together around a hydrogen crossroad. I wish you a very interesting and very fruitful discussion. Thank you.
We all well understood that international cooperation would be very important. And now we will move to Netherlands to a statement of His Excellency Mr. Rob Jetten, Minister for Climate and Energy Policy. He was appointed, I think, this year, yeah? And he was before policy officer for the D66 parliamentary party in the Senate. He was also branch chair of the party. He was then national chair, member and leader of the D66 group of Nijmegen Municipal Council, and he had also different activities. He was member of different committees and ambassador for small organization supporting care and research for newborns. The virtual floor is for or His Excellency Rob Jetten.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants from Morocco and other countries. It is my pleasure to contribute to today's conference. The topic of Power to X is very important. How to integrate renewable energy in our economy and our energy system is a key challenge. And hydrogen will be one of the solutions. Both Morocco and the Netherlands recognize the essential role of hydrogen in the energy transition. In the Netherlands, we need clean hydrogen to decarbonize our industry and transport. Our hydrogen policy has a clear focus. We have to bring down costs, scale up production, and improve technologies. And this requires an international market. Our government is committed to ensure all the conditions will be in place for this market to develop. We are working on financial instruments, a regulatory framework, and infrastructure. Infrastructure for transport and storage of hydrogen will be crucial, and the Netherlands will reuse part of its natural gas grid to create a so-called hydrogen backbone. The backbone will transport hydrogen to industrial clusters and ports in the Netherlands and our neighboring countries. And this hydrogen will come from our own region in Northwestern Europe, mainly produced from offshore wind, but also from other regions, like North Africa. And Morocco could play an important role as supplier. I'm happy to see that so many companies are joining today, and it shows that many stakeholders are recognizing the potential of this market, also from the Netherlands. The Port of Rotterdam and other Dutch companies are already working on projects with stakeholders from Morocco. We were happy that an important Moroccan delegation could recently participate at the World Hydrogen Summit in Rotterdam and meet with relevant partners. It will be exciting to see how in a couple of years, the first projects will bring clear hydrogen to the market. And to make this happen, all parties involved need to collaborate on issues like certification, safety, and technology. This will take time and effort. By working together on sustainable hydrogen supply chain, we can strengthen the ties between our countries and regions. The Netherlands, as a central hub for hydrogen in Northwestern Europe, is ready to contribute to these international supply chains. I would like to thank Morocco for hosting this conference, and I wish all participants a fruitful and successful meeting. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you very much for this kind message, and we are also very glad to notice that a lot of first projects in Morocco are starting with Dutch partners. Now we will move to international organization statements, and we will start with Director General Francisco La Camera. He's the head of the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA. Mr. La Camera had a lot of responsibilities in the Italian Ministry of Environment, Land and Sea. He was also coordinating a lot of commissions with the UN and with other UNDP and other organizations in this field. Please, the virtual floor is for Mr. Francisco La Camera.
Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to be here with you all today to share ARENA's perspective on the importance of developments in hydrogen under the theme Power to X. This summit provides a timely moment to share ideas and make connections as green hydrogen development gains traction globally. It is also fitting to be speaking in the Kingdom of Morocco, a country with which we have close relations. Morocco has been a member of ARENA since 2015 and is a front runner in the MENA region in pursuing renewable energy development. Last year, we entered a strategic agreement with the Moroccan Ministry of Mines and Environment to advance knowledge in renewable energy and accelerate the energy transition, all in a socio-economically sustainable manner. Morocco is part of the work we coordinate with the Coalition for Sustainable Energy Access for Better South-South Cooperation, and this under the ARENA Climate Investment Platform. And the Moroccan Research Institute of Solar Energy and Renewable Energies has been a co-facilitator of the ARENA Collaborative Framework on Green Hydrogen since it was created 2 years ago. Indeed, hydrogen has triggered the imagination of countries around the world, and many have already developed a hydrogen strategy with governments allocating some $65 billion as of October last year. And while there is progress, we need to move faster. We need governments to facilitate demand, industry development, and provide financing. We also need to facilitate trade. Our recent reports on the geopolitics of hydrogen and a deeper dive into the trade of hydrogen indicates that trade in the future will be split by ship, mostly in the form of green ammonia, and as a gas via pipeline. It is a fast-moving arena, and potential exporters are positioning green hydrogen as a game changer for their economies and including it at the highest level of their diplomacy. We will see new trading routes, new trade partners, and increased volume offering opportunities for developed and developing countries alike. Trade will be mostly regional, with some of the largest markets being with Europe, MENA, and Sub-Saharan Africa. ARENA estimates that over 30% of hydrogen could be traded across border by 2050, a higher share than natural gas today. There is an urgent need for decarbonized fuels around the world, and Morocco has a distinct advantage due to its potential low-cost e-fuels production in the MENA region. Morocco has the potential to become an export champion in green hydrogen, providing an opportunity to decarbonize its own economy and increase its national energy security, moving away from dependence on fossil fuels and energy imports. The increase in trade, however, will only be possible with enabling policies, investments, and with the development of a robust certification system that clearly labels hydrogen made from renewable sources. ARENA will continue to collaborate with its members to develop clear standards and guidelines in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to close by saying that we have a unique opportunity today to shape the advent of hydrogen, avoiding the flaws and inefficiencies of current systems and influence geopolitical outcomes. It is evident that increased adoption of hydrogen technologies will disrupt certain economic and political alliances and partnerships. But if pursued with due care and caution, this range of energy technologies offers the opportunity to demonstrate the positive forces of disruption, enhancing national in regional sovereignty, resilience, and global cooperation. I hope you have a fruitful and enjoyable summit. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.
Now we will move to UNIDO, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. His Director General, Dr. Gerd Müller, was State Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture between 2005 and 2013. 2013, he was appointed Federal Minister for Economic Cooperation and Development in the German government, and we had in the last years, the opportunity to strongly cooperate with Dr. Gerd Müller, and he clearly supported the development of the topic and of green hydrogen in Germany. Now we will give then the virtual floor to Dr. Gerd Müller, Director General of UNIDO.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. As the new Director General of UNIDO, it is a pleasure to speak to you at the World Power to X Summit. I thank the Moroccan Research Institute for Solar Energy and New Energies and the Mohammed VI Polytechnic University for organizing this event. I visited Morocco in May, my first to Africa as Director General. I have seen with my own eyes the great steps Morocco has made over the past years in industrialization, energy transition, and agribusiness. UNIDO and the government of Morocco have a long-standing cooperation and friendship. We have delivered concrete and practical solutions for key sectors like agro-industry and clean energy. With Prime Minister Akanush, I agreed to further expand our cooperation through the Program for Country Partnership. Our focus is on energy transition, decarbonization, agricultural development, and vocational training. Together with the Ministry of Industry and Trade and the Ministry of Energy Transition and Sustainable Development, UNIDO also signed a joint declaration on green hydrogen. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are going to solve the pressing global challenges, we need to think outside the box. Innovation is the key to this. Progress by innovation is my motto at UNIDO. To save our planet, we need technology solutions for more energy and resource efficiency, adaptation in industry, and to decouple growth from CO2 emissions. So this summit has good timing. Hydrogen is gaining momentum in the global clean energy transition. It is an innovation option, particularly for hard-to-abate sectors, chemicals, steel, and cement. 15% of global energy-related CO2 emissions come from these sectors. UNIDO is ready to support developing countries to accelerate local production and use of green hydrogen. This will help countries to decarbonize their economies, strengthen their industries, and create new jobs. It means real progress to achieve climate targets. Today, we have the knowledge and the technologies necessary, but we need the political will to act. And the economic means public-private partnerships to make it work. Morocco's geography means it is very vulnerable to climate change, desertification, floods, and water scarcity. But Morocco also has the renewable energy potential that are key for future industries and value chains. The Moroccan government has the ambitious target to increase the renewable energy share to over 50% by 2030. We expanding green hydrogen production as part of this. I am sure Morocco will emerge as a leader in the global hydrogen market. Excellencies, in 2021, UNIDO launched the global program for green hydrogen in industry. It offers a platform for joint project development, knowledge and technology transfer, and investment. I look forward to support Morocco in its hydrogen journey. Together, we can achieve the clean and sustainable growth of the future. Thank you so much.
Now we will again move to Germany, to Dr. Patrick Gratian. He's State Secretary at the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Climate Actions. We had also the opportunity to cooperate with Dr. Gratian because he was between 2014 and 2021 the executive director of the Agora Energiewende, a kind of a think tank institution supporting the energy transition in Germany. And before, he was also in the Ministry of the Federal Ministry for the Environment, Natural Conservation and Nuclear Safety. The virtual floor for Her Excellency Dr. Patrick Gratian, please.
Dear Excellency Minister Laila Ben-Ali, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the invitation to the World PTX Summit in Morocco. We congratulate the Moroccan government on the progress made on the expansion of renewables and on the publication of the hydrogen strategy. We, Germany and Morocco, are looking back on a successful cooperation between our countries for more than 10 years in the field of renewables, energy efficiency, and hydrogen. We now have a new government in Germany since 6 months. We have a strong focus on accelerating the energy transition in all sectors. You know that we aim for 80% renewables in the power sector by 2030, and we want to strengthen our international commitment on these issues. This includes an ambitious update for the German National Hydrogen Strategy in 2022. We want to even faster ramp up hydrogen and electrolysis. The electrolysis capacity in Germany now should be 10 gigawatts by 2030, which is double what we originally planned for. But we know hydrogen demand in Germany will be a lot higher than what we can produce ourselves. We therefore estimate that we need to import at least half, probably in the long term, 2/3 or 80% of our hydrogen demand from other countries. Some of that will come from Europe, but also a lot from countries that are rich for wind and solar, like Morocco. So green hydrogen from Morocco has a huge potential for us, for other countries, as a supplier for those countries that need green molecules. Morocco and the MENA region has a win-win opportunity here. They can become the champion of green and competitive energy suppliers for the world. And Germany, with our technology and our high demand, can be a partner. Joint hydrogen markets offer a strong growth prospect for both German and Moroccan companies. So this is also something not only for the governments, but also for the companies to cooperate. We believe that these are huge investment opportunities, job creation, especially in industry, and also in all the services markets that come across with it. Together with Minister Schulze and the Ministry for Economic Cooperation, we can offer an increased support with specialized technical cooperation projects to support the implementation of Morocco's Hydrogen Action Plan. This may include hydrogen regulation, which is necessary, standards, certificates, but also the transport infrastructure which is, of course, key to get exports to the European market. We have established international support schemes like H2 Global, Support Guideline, PTX Fund, and that can, as our ministry, top up and add on to the BMZ-led technical and financial cooperation. So with that, H2 Global, our ministry, the economic development ministries, and the partners in Morocco, we can make a difference for the next few years. Our funding guidelines also have grants for projects that can live up in the International Hydrogen Ramp-Up Program, support and prepare PTX projects, and public-private pilot projects. We believe the German-Moroccan Energy Partnership, which is celebrating its 10th year anniversary this year, is a very good platform for fruitful exchanges, successful cooperation between our two countries. We look forward to continue that over the next 10 years, jointly facilitating the development of a green hydrogen market. Thank you.
We clearly also then believe in the Moroccan-German cooperation, but we believe also in the European-Moroccan cooperation, and this is why we will now move to the European Commission. We have a statement of Mrs. Dieter Juul-Jørgensen. She's the Director General for Energy in the European Commission, and since 1992, he played and had a lot of responsibilities and different responsibilities in the European Commission. Please, the virtual floor for Mrs. Dieter Juul-Jørgensen.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to be here with you today and to bring some positive messages from Europe. Our thoughts are, of course, primarily with those that struggle under the impacts of the Russian invasion, but at the same time in Europe, we are moving forwards with our green transition to accelerate the green transition and to repower EU, that is to reduce our dependence on Russian fossil fuels. We do that for Europe and we do that for Ukraine. And in this context, hydrogen has a key role to play. Our plan, our Repower EU plan, includes a hydrogen accelerator and an EU energy platform that aim to boost our energy security. This will mean, among other things, engagement with partners to facilitate the joint purchase of gas, of LNG, and of hydrogen, international outreach and partnership, including with Morocco. I would like to set out the three key points in this context. Now, first of all, we of course need in Europe to accelerate and increase the local production of renewable hydrogen. We would like to produce at least 10 million tons of renewable hydrogen to help reduce our dependence on imported fossil. We also intend to use this in the steel sector and heavy-duty transport so as to reduce the reliance both on coal and oil imports in addition to gas. To meet this objective, we of course need more renewable electricity, more renewable power. And this is the reason that we have increased our target for renewable energy to 45% of the overall energy mix by 2030. To meet this, we need to double the current renewable generation capacity between now and 2030, or to add 80 gigawatt per year, every year between now and 2030. And then we need also to increase our electrolyzer capacity, electrolyzer production capacity. We need to develop hydrogen infrastructure and support innovative projects in both industry and the transport sector. Now that's what we're going to do here in Europe domestically. But of course, there's a very strong international angle to that. And that's my second point. We aim to import 10 million tons of renewable hydrogen in order to make sure that we have sufficient renewable hydrogen available at affordable prices to provide our end consumers with the confidence that they can actually switch from fossil fuels to this energy carrier. Our Repower EU plan cannot be achieved by the EU alone. We need to and want to work closely with our neighbors and partners to meet our objectives. And this is why we have also set up a new external energy engagement strategy because working together for a green energy transition is the only way that we can ensure sustainable, secure, and affordable energy, not just in Europe, but worldwide. And the third point I wanted to set out is our objective to develop new green hydrogen partnerships and green hydrogen import corridors, including from the Mediterranean. We believe that it's important that we build these partnerships, also bearing in mind the local, social, economic, and environmental needs, so that we promote local production and consumption of renewable electricity and renewable hydrogen, and that we do that together with partner countries and helping to develop green industry value chains locally. And in this respect, Morocco's commitment to the development of a sustainable hydrogen ecosystem is both welcome and highly commendable. I'm pleased that Morocco is one of our privileged partners. I'm glad that we have started our work on an EU-Morocco Green Partnership, and I very much look forward to visit Morocco to work more closely with everyone there. I would also like to highlight the very strong cooperation between the European Commission and Morocco as co-chairs of the collaborative framework on green hydrogen under the International Renewable Energy Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, we have taken a decision here in Europe to reduce our dependence on Russian fossil fuels. To do that, we want to work together with our partners to build stronger partnership with Morocco, so that we can together help develop a global hydrogen market. Morocco is a key partner in this endeavor, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Now we will move back to the physical floor. I'm very glad to introduce the next speaker. We had the opportunity a few weeks ago to meet then together in Jordan again and to participate in one important conference, MEFED. I would like to introduce, I have some bullet points and I will take one. Cornelius Mattes is a well-respected leader and investor in the renewable energy industry and built several successful clean energy businesses and startups within Middle East and Africa. He has an experience, board level experience from 10 years in the Deutsche Bank, German bank. And he's now the CEO of DII Desert Energy. Cornelius, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear Samir, dear Irisen colleagues, thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you also for the excellent cooperation over the years. You're doing a wonderful job. Marrakesh for me is very special. It always has a particular place in my heart. I came 23 years ago for the first time, actually by car from Germany to climb North Africa's highest mountain. We climbed Toubkal, we went by car to Ouarzazate, to the Pre-Sahara, and I wouldn't have imagined that, you know, years later, the world's largest CSP plant is there, and we saw this area with the snow-capped mountain. It's just fascinating. 12 years ago, we had a shareholders meeting in Marrakesh, a historical one as well, when Aqua Power joined as a shareholder, and we, you know, kind of started a mutual success story. And since then, I came back many times. Last October, with some memorable meetings with my dear friend Badre, whom I also congratulate on the well-deserved recognition. You did an amazing job, really. Anyway, I think we are living in very exciting times. As DII Desert Energy, we published Desert Power 2050 in 2012, exactly in June 2012, so 10 years ago. That was the first of such a kind future energy system where we outlined Europe, North Africa, Middle East running almost exclusively on renewable energy, interconnected systems. We showed the big benefits in security of supply. We showed 10 years ago it would have been convenient from an economic point of view to already move fast. And most importantly, the millions of jobs, the socioeconomic aspects, the stability. We can say we lost time. We could have, of course, moved much faster. Europe is now in a severe crisis. We could have done much more. But at the same time, looking back, who would have thought that we are at 1 to 2 cents solar today, 1.5, 3 cent wind? This is amazing. This is a revolution. And this is actually overachieving the targets for 2050 in 2020 already. This is really a revolution, and it will alone cause a disruptive cascade. Now, hydrogen coming in. Why is hydrogen fascinating all of us so much? John Kay called it last week the largest market we've ever seen. You know, we have superlatives. We are not talking about billions. We are talking about trillions. So why is that? And you know, we started maybe 6-7 years ago, and people laughed at us. But the first study we jointly actually presented in 2019 was Badre, Samir, and my colleagues Ad van Wijk and Frank Wouters pointed already to, you know, the opportunities to have a North Africa-Europe connection, and then actually the main hydrogen alliance was launched. But for all of us in the industry, I think nobody of us would have expected where we stand today. We launched a project tracker just a few weeks back at the last partner meeting. We identified almost 50 hydrogen projects in the MENA region. Of course, a few of them in Morocco, who is again a pioneer after impressive achievements on the energy transition. Most importantly, projects like NEOM Green Hydrogen are purely commercial. This is not only of regional, this is of global relevance. 1.5 gigawatt wind, 2.5 gigawatt solar, more than 2,000 megawatt electrolyzer capacity. And this is a $6 billion project realized on a purely commercial basis. No subsidies, not even a regulatory framework, not even a market. This market is not existing today. A company with a balance sheet is guaranteeing the offtake. This is really exciting, what is happening. And for Morocco, Morocco has world-class wind conditions, onshore significantly better than the best ones offshore in the North Sea. The opportunities are really to create an entire new economy, to attract new industries, other than obviously just substituting the massive imports, but creating new champions with record low cost renewables. This is really the huge opportunity. We looked at the potential in GCC in a study we did last year to replace you know, fossil fuels of the largest producers like Saudi Arabia, UAE and Oman, and we came to the conclusion that only in these 3 countries up to 1 million jobs could be created. This is really massive, and there's a huge opportunity for Morocco to move similarly as well. Let me mention another point. Yesterday, there was an announcement on the new joint venture between TAQA and Mazda and ADNOC, most importantly, here talking about Power-to-X. ADNOC, who takes a 42% stake, Mubadala 33, and then 24% on the Mazda green hydrogen company. And the fact that a national oil company, and maybe a year or 2 ago, ADNOC was only talking about blue hydrogen, the fact that a national oil company now engages in such a partnership says something. This is really exciting on what's happening. We observe actually, looking at this decade, that developments which were planned to happen over many years, they happen in months. We are unfortunately in a really dire crisis with the Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Particularly countries like Germany, they're heavily suffering. You've probably heard about potential rationing mechanisms to ration the gas. This is really a big threat for Europe and the economy. But at the same time, it's a huge opportunity here for the region to engage, because this setting finally gives us the right ingredients, the right setting to engage in these important partnerships. And look what happened in a matter of months. Green hydrogen has become cheaper than gray hydrogen in Europe. This is crazy. In a matter of months, green ammonia has become cheaper than gray ammonia. And this is really massive, and it doesn't matter whether prices will come down again over the next few months or years. This is really massive what's happening, and it's creating new market realities. Anyway, I'm so happy to be here with all of you, looking forward to engaging, and I think we can really make it happen together, engaging in these partnerships. We are for our next annual summit just before COP27 in Cairo, and I would like to invite all of you as well. But more importantly, thanking again the dear friends at Yerisen for bringing together such a wonderful event in a very special, in a just unique city. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cornelius. I know we are late, but maybe we will little bit then shorten the lunch time. I have one question to you. A few years ago, we were trying to start with the first demonstration and pilot projects. Today, we have already demonstration and pilot projects. What do we need to move from the pilot projects, from the megawatt to the gigawatt?
Badre, well, I think governments particularly, they should engage in two main areas. Number one, infrastructure. You know, when we started Desertec 1.0 13 years ago, subsea cables, this is all fine, but with gas infrastructure, with hydrogen pipelines, 10, 20 times more capacity can be transported. This is, you know, the magnitude, the tens of gigawatts we need. And for this, number one, governments need to engage in creating this infrastructure, which private sector would never build on its own. So we need countries like Germany, we need EU, we need partnerships to make infrastructure happen. I think this is number one. Number two, Francesco La Camera mentioned it, and we're working very closely with IRENA and other partners on certification. And we launched a working group on this during the Dubai Hydrogen Week in March. Certification, this is really the biggest thing, and it's not about inventing schemes. It's not about having another working group. I think the one and only imperative is to coordinate certification schemes as much as possible, to have one international scheme with a pragmatic approach, facilitating and not creating hurdles for the implementation for hydrogen economy. And this is as well where we need government supports. Patrick Reichen mentioned it as well. So this is really the two main things we need for an acceleration.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cornelius. Now, last but not least, we have our dear partner, Engineer Raed Soub. He's the Secretary General of the Arab Fertilizer Association since 2020. He was also advisor to the chairman of the Arab Potash. He's an international manager. He's well experienced in establishing private companies, and he was involved in the creation of more than 20 international companies. We're very glad to have you with us. Please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think it's good morning now. First of all, I am coming from an industry that produces the largest hydrogen production worldwide. It's the fertilizer industry. Also, I am coming from the industry that started producing green hydrogen and green ammonia since the early of last century. So all the hydrogen produced and ammonia since 1903 up to 1975, it was produced by green. So it was not gray at that time. The gray came afterward by utilizing the gas. Again, our industry has the most value added from that gas. This gas was burned and currently is burned for producing energy. But as a fertilizer industry, we got from that gas a plant nutrients that feeding the world and feeding all the world from that natural gas. Now again, I am also representing an Arab Fertilizer Association, a 47 years old association. They are consisting 1/3 of the plant nutrient fertilizer worldwide. Also, in the nitrogen production, the Arab producers are producing 30% of the current hydrogen production worldwide. In my presentation here, I will talk some information about AFA, Arab Fertilizer Association, and we will talk about the potential of projects in the green hydrogen and green ammonia in the Arab region. Then the last slides will be related to the objectives. Arab Fertilizer Association started in 1975 in Kuwait. In 1992-93, we transferred to Egypt. And in 2022, we have 47 years old organization related to the Arab League. We are consisted of 13 Arab states out of 22 with 42 companies. These companies are feeding the world by 1/3 of their plant nutrients, which is the fertilizer. It has 2 committees, technical and economics. Now, going focus to the NH3 projects in the Arab region in glance, we have 38 prospective projects in the Arab region, 9 in the Arab countries, 24 green hydrogen and ammonia, 9 blue hydrogen and ammonia, and 5 hydrogen application in transportation. This is the Arab region. In total, Egypt has almost 10 projects, Oman, these 7 projects, United Arab Emirates, KSA, Iraq, Mauritania, Algeria, and Morocco. These numbers are until 2022. Now, the Arab world represents 1/3 of the world in nutrients, which is a mineral fertilizer trade share. In nitrogen, we are accounting 30%. In phosphate, we are accounting 60%. In potassium, we are accounting of 5%. Majority of the phosphate, this 60% is coming from Morocco through OCP Group. They are the largest producers of phosphate and phosphate fertilizer worldwide. Now, what is the challenges facing new renewable energy sources, green hydrogen and green ammonia? It's required a significant capital investment to implement sophisticated and complex operational system and standards. In terms of technology, by the way, this is, if we are accounting, if we are telling that from 1903 up to 1975, all the production was from green, that means the technology is easy, but it is costly compared to others, and we need a low cost, less than 2 cents per kilowatt hour in order to produce an economic green ammonia, green hydrogen. Storing the hydrogen is in gaseous form or is difficult. Converting it to liquid also costly. That's why we are accounting ammonia as an energy carrier, not only a plant nutrients. That's why the fertilizer industry is looking to this opportunity as an energy carrier for the hydrogen to be transported worldwide. There is a heavy responsibility on the government and energy major to invest heavily in the energy network, like ports, pipelines, and gas stations to accommodate this big and huge transformation to the hydrogen and ammonia in a green form. Now, coming to MENA region, which represents about 99% of the MENA region is Arab countries. So, therefore, calling our region as an Arab region is more realistic than calling it MENA region during the coming paradigm of green energy and green hydrogen, green ammonia energy hub. Arab region is approximately 30%, as we said. Now, this 30%, we will try in the future to start working on it again, back again to the renewable energy of solar, wind, and also to look about the Arabs. They have most of the logistics facilities related to the storage and also the technology and know-how in production of ammonia out of that hydrogen. So we have the storage facilities within the Arab region, especially in the Gulf area, in Egypt, and also in the Algeria and Libya. Now, this is our message during this nice conference. Thanks, Irison, for inviting us for this. We are initiating some Arab Green Hydrogen Ammonia Alliance. And this alliance, it will consist of the Arab hydrogen ammonia current producers, which they are the AFA members. Number two is the renewable energy ecosystem in the Arab region, Irison as an example. Ammonia current storage ecosystem, which is available in the Gulf and also in Egypt and in the North Africa. Number four, ammonia transportation current ecosystem, which they are currently transporting the ammonia from our region to Europe and far away. Number five, ammonia current receiving ports ecosystem, like Rotterdam Port as an example. Number six, ammonia direct fuel technology provider, which they are currently in process and investigation. Number seven, ammonia cracking back to hydrogen technology providers. Number eight is the legal regulation ecosystem. Number nine, others, which we are going to investigate during the coming 6 months. Finally, we are inviting you to our 34th AFA Technical Conference and Exhibition. It will be in Algeria between the 3rd and 6th of October. And this exhibition will be focused mainly in the green hydrogen and ammonia, with a pavilion, big pavilion for the equipment and technology provider. So this is the last thing. Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you very much for your presentation. We are now finishing this session. It was maybe then a little bit then sentimental at the beginning. I would like also now, without being too sentimental, and before giving the floor back to Mr. Wadi Adada, I would like then to congratulate the organizers, all the IRISEN team, UM6P, as well as the Green Hydrogen Cluster. I'm very proud then for being a part of this large family of IRISEN and UM6P, and I'm also very then glad to be a part of this green hydrogen family. Last point, I was surprised then to have this tribute. I would like also to thank two people. Those are not shadow people. They are more, I would say, humble, very humble people. Of course, I'm very, as I said before, very proud of all my former colleagues of IRISEN, but I would like to take the opportunity to pay tribute to two persons. First of all, our former energy minister, Mrs. Amina Ben Khadra, for the continuous support and engagement, and for all this dynamic I remember at the beginning, Arisen was only an idea, and with this amazing support, we were then able to build all what we build today. Thank you very much, Mrs. Amina Ben Khadra. And the second person is the chairman of OCP also, because we got all the time a continuous and very strong support. Thank you very much. Before giving you the floor, Mr. Wadi Dada, I can't say you are doing news. You are analyzing news, you are presenting news. And I would like to have from your side, what is your feeling in the last maybe then 3 or 4 years? What is your evaluation about the topic?
If you allow me, I will give my opinion in French. Ce qui est surprenant et ce qui est frappant, ça fait 16 ans que j'ai l'immense honneur de présenter les infos au Maroc, venant en plus de France, c'est de voir l'engagement des acteurs, et vraiment des acteurs marocains autour de la problématique des énergies renouvelables et de la lutte contre les changements climatiques. Et c'est vrai qu'un pays comme le Maroc, et c'est valable pour le reste de l'Afrique, qui ont une part de responsabilité très limitée dans les émissions de gaz à effet de serre, fournissent et déploient des efforts absolument considérables pour être toujours en pointe et ne pas avoir à rougir de ce qui se fait à l'international. On le voit avec ce qui est en train de se faire là à travers ce sommet au niveau de l'hydrogène vert, et c'est absolument phénoménal, c'est extraordinaire. Et je suis particulièrement fier d'être marocain parce que le Maroc, à travers cet engagement-là sur la durabilité, nous rappelle aussi combien nous sommes fiers d'être africains. Et ça, c'est vraiment fondamental. Et combien nous sommes ouverts au déploiement et au développement de partenariats autour de ces enjeux qui sont des enjeux d'avenir, mais qui se jouent aujourd'hui pour la pérennité de l'espèce humaine et de nos enfants. Donc vraiment bravo à tous ces acteurs que vous êtes dans cette salle et ailleurs à distance pour cette responsabilité que vous jouez et pour ce travail que vous réalisez. Je vous remercie infiniment. Badari Khan, sous vos applaudissements, mesdames, messieurs, c'est largement mérité. Président exécutif du Grid Innov Industry Investment, pour avoir modéré ce panel. Merci à toutes celles et tous ceux qui ont été parmi nous et notamment en présentiel. C'est Shakib Lalej, président de la CGM, Madame Barka Bouaïda, présidente de l'Association des régions et présidente de la région Gelmim Wednoun, également messieurs il y a Cornelius Mates, qui est Chief Executive Officer à DII Desert Energy. Thank you very much, sir. Et c'est Raib Saoub, secrétaire général de l'Arab Fertilizer Association. Thank you very much. Sous vos applaudissements, mesdames, messieurs, merci à nos panélistes et merci de nous avoir éclairés de votre expertise. On va faire une petite photo souvenir, si Shakib Lalej, si vous voulez rejoindre vos collègues. Merci également à toutes les personnes qui étaient avec nous à distance et qui ont contribué en nous dévoilant leur point de vue, leur analyse de ce marché, de ce potentiel qui existe à travers l'hydrogène vert, de ces enjeux climatiques, ces enjeux de la préservation de la planète et de toutes les applications qui peuvent émerger sur le plan industriel en faveur du développement de notre pays, de notre continent et de l'ensemble de la planète. Merci infiniment, madame. Messieurs, on va poursuivre avant de faire un petit break à travers la signature de conventions. On l'a vu à quel point les partenariats sont très importants dans ce domaine-là pour développer des projets, pour explorer toutes les opportunités qui sont ouvertes, et vous allez avoir sous vos yeux la conclusion de partenariats d'avenir qui vont contribuer à l'émergence et au développement des différentes industries en lien avec l'hydrogène vert. Et je vais appeler sur scène les représentants du cluster Green H2 et du MEDEF pour la signature de la première convention et de ce premier partenariat. Sous vos applaudissements, mesdames, messieurs, cluster Green H2 et MEDEF sur la scène, et on les encourage, on les applaudit pour la conclusion de ce partenariat qui va favoriser la coopération bilatérale et la réalisation de partenariats entre les milieux d'affaires français et marocains dans le domaine de l'hydrogène vert et de ses dérivés. Messieurs, c'est à vous que revient la responsabilité de conclure ce partenariat afin de rapprocher ces deux pays, le Royaume du Maroc et la République française, autour du développement des opportunités offertes par l'hydrogène vert et ses différents dérivés. Voilà pour le représentant du cluster Green H2 et du MEDEF engagé dans ce secteur. Voilà, c'est fait. Signature donc de cette première convention de partenariat pour rapprocher les deux pays. Voilà, on finalise, on apporte les derniers paraphes à cette convention et c'est définitivement conclu. Cette fois-ci, on peut vous applaudir, messieurs, bravo. De belles choses donc en perspective. Convention suivante. Je vais appeler sur scène le représentant du Green Energy Park, de la Société marocaine de stockage, de l'Université Ibn Tufayl et de l'ONIM pour cet accord de collaboration entre 4 partenaires. Madame Amina Mthara, que l'on peut applaudir. Bienvenue, ravi de vous accueillir. Voilà donc l'ONIM à travers Madame Ben Khadra, l'Université Ibn Tufayl, la Société marocaine de stockage et le Green Energy Park pour la conclusion et la signature de cette deuxième convention. Convention qui porte sur une collaboration dans le cadre du projet de recherche MELI, la MELHI, avec un HMELHY, sur l'étude de faisabilité de stockage de l'hydrogène dans les cavités salines. Et effectivement, les potentialités offertes par l'hydrogène vert, c'est cette capacité de stocker l'énergie pour pouvoir la mobiliser lorsqu'on en a besoin dans les différentes activités industrielles. Voilà donc pour cette convention qui est en train d'être signée entre le Green Energy Park, la Société marocaine de stockage, l'Université Ibn Tufayl et l'ONIM. À travers la présence, et pas des moindres, de Madame Amina Ben Khadra. Voilà, on apporte les derniers paraphes et c'est conclu pour cette convention autour de l'enjeu du stockage de l'hydrogène dans les cavités salines. Voilà qui est fait. On peut applaudir effectivement la conclusion de cette deuxième convention et de ce nouvel accord en la matière. Merci, mesdames et messieurs. La petite photo souvenir pour nos amis et confrères de la presse. Et voilà donc pour cette convention sur l'étude de faisabilité de stockage de l'hydrogène dans les cavités salines. Troisième convention signée en cette matinée entre l'IRESEN et l'Agence nationale des ports. L'IRESEN avec C. Rachidi et l'Agence nationale des ports dont la représentante ou le représentant, la représentante. Voilà, sa directrice. Bienvenue, ravi de vous accueillir. Voilà donc pour cette convention qui va mener à un accompagnement et à une assistance technique dans le domaine de l'hydrogène vert et ses dérivés entre l'IRESEN et l'Agence nationale des ports du Royaume. Voilà pour cette convention bilatérale et cet accompagnement et assistance technique qui va émerger de cet accord. Voilà, c'est fait. Bravo à vous. Merci, madame, et merci, monsieur. Voilà pour cette troisième convention qui a été signée en vue du développement de ce secteur de l'hydrogène vert. Je vous en prie. Mesdames, Messieurs, nous allons faire une petite pause très rapide de quelques minutes afin de pouvoir poursuivre dans notre dynamique. Et on va se retrouver ensuite pour évoquer les principaux marchés, les principaux débouchés auxquels peut mener l'hydrogène vert. Merci pour votre attention et à tout de suite.